Okay guys, welcome back to my playthrough and lore discussion of Dishonored. This is the first part of Mission 7. Not a whole lot to say at this point, but let's just go ahead and get started. Coronation Eve. The Lord Regent has been defeated and the reign of Emily Caldwin is now assured. All that remains is to see her safely escorted to Dunwall Tower, where she will assume her position on the throne.
Big changes.
It's just that easy, huh?
Makes me uneasy, to tell the truth.
Oh, okay.
A small fry like me always gets the worst of it. But maybe it's going to be different now. The Lord Regent is gone. The Abbey has a new High Overseer. I'm guessing our work is almost done.
Guess again.
The others are in the bar. No doubt waiting to raise a glass in your name. Me, I think I'll just linger out here if you don't mind. Reflect on things while we have a moment. Congratulations, Corvo.
Alright, is that loot back? Oh, it is not. Okay.
I'm taking part in history here. Dunwall is on the verge of a new age, a better age. And this old sailor has had a role to play in it. I doubt I'll be remembered, because the work...
I think we already read that.
I know it's a good day.
Or listened to it.
But the rats are still here, aren't they? I look out at the river and still see the bodies going by. I wonder if the Admiral could get me a post in the Navy. I don't need anything fancy. I guess you'll be headed back to the tower soon. Gonna be a little easier this time, I hope. The river was in a temper this morning. Oh, it's got moods, it does, like my poor wife used to. If you should have any need of me, I'll still be ready to go, Corvo. Just because the Lord Regent is defeated doesn't mean I'll get lazy.
Good to know. I think we can actually go talk to Sokolov.
Back already? I'm happy to talk. I suspect my charm is the only thing keeping me alive. I'm beginning to suspect the Lord Regent is no longer in power. Am I correct? If so, either my usefulness is at an end, or else it is just beginning. You'd be foolish to kill me now. I can help your cause. I have inventions no one knows about. Piero's not such a bad fellow. I wish he'd forget about that business at the Academy. There's something odd about you. As I might have mentioned, I know that mark on your hand. Have you ever dealt in black magic?
Yeah, once or twice.
I hope my painting of Lady Boyle will be preserved. I realize it was just a tool in your machinations, but it is also great art, and her fall gives it a special quality.
Barring some unfortunate turn of events or betrayal, I will soon have a very astonishing title. Royal Physician. No, it's too much like Sokolov. Maybe it's time for a change. A reimagining, something that will shape the Academy of Natural Philosophy to its stones. Royal Alchemist. astrological metaphysician.
Unfortunately, he's got brain cancer. He's not going to live too long after this. Alright, let's see if anything's different in here. Might as well get all the loot we can now.
This is the story of the fancy-dressed lady and the naked man. Once upon a time, there was a fancy-dressed lady, and she came to the madam and said that the naked man wanted something, and she was mad about it. And then the naked man came in, and he said it was just what he always gets. And the madam said, if that's what he wants, it'll be 10 coin each time. And that it was Beatrice he'd be wanting to visit. And the fancy-dressed lady said, see? And then she left. And then the naked man said Beatrice would do. And the madam said, 10 coin, Custis. And the naked man said, Lord Pendleton. The end.
I thought there was some loot down here. Couldn't remember for sure.
This was never my idea. He knows that. Certainly I am not completely guiltless, but with my position, he would be a fool to come for me. And if he does, I have much to offer. Extensive business opportunities. So he'll see reason, if it comes to that.
Don't count on it. Havelock entry 6. Until we get through all this and hold the coronation, nothing's certain. Dunwall Tower has got its own culture. No telling what could happen if we moved into the place too soon. The next steps must be handled carefully. Things are happening quickly now. I need time to think. I'd say he's had too much time to think. Just want to make sure nothing's changed before we go to the cutscene. All right, let's do it.
He's done it. Word is spreading all over the city. The tyranny is over. By this time tomorrow, Emily will be on the throne. After that, we'll clear your name and put everything we've got into rebuilding the city.
I wish there were more of a city to rule. Most of Dunwall is rats and corpses.
The Admiral's right, I'm afraid. Corvo, you did your job while the rest of us sat on our asses. Our work starts tomorrow.
Tonight, rest easy. Tomorrow, we crown an empress. To Corvo, the man who served to change the course of history.
To Emily Caldwin, and the new dawn rising for Dunwall and the Empire.
She'll need higher mathematics, court protocol, and cosmology, of course. Do you provide these things?
Of course not, no. I just think I should have a central role.
What the histories was.
She trusts me.
It's true, she does, but she should trust all of us. Don't you trust me, Callista?
You always drink free at that event. You know, we should hold a reunion each year. Emily's first act will be to rescind the warrant for your arrest. We can finally take that mask off you. The city watches rotten through and through. Time to impose a little Navy discipline. Eat well tonight, Corvo. You've earned it. We'll find this man Daud. Part of the Lord's Regent's ring of skulking spies and killers, no doubt. There's a pretty little forest just north of Holdback, just waiting to be turned into frigates. One of the strangest campaigns I ever fought.
I must have a portrait made. Maybe Sokolov will do it, after what we've been through here. Emily comes first. In a pinch, Wallace could manage the estate. You speak less and do more than any man I have known. I swear I'll help you find the murderer who struck down the Empress. Your life will be changed very soon. When this is over, I'm going to have a truly fantastic set of clothes made. I really must get a wife. Still a few boils left, I suppose. Now, which was the prudish one again?
We took control of the Abbey through blackmail. But perhaps over time we can wield a more legitimate sword. Callista is losing her faith, I fear. I must speak to her about that. Callista is a special case. She has more influence over Emily than anyone else. Except maybe you. Campbell's Black Book lets me control the Abbey, but only at a price. The Outsider has failed at destroying Dunwall. The people have been brought to their knees, but they are strong and are beginning to rise again.
Is that it? Okay.
We're leaving tomorrow, aren't we? I don't know if I want to go back to the tower. I can be Empress from anywhere, right? Maybe a ship. I don't know how Havelock smells like tobacco. Do you think I can order him to throw away his cigars? How many dresses will I have when I'm Empress? Callista says 100, but I just don't know if that's enough. You're not going to leave me when I'm Empress, are you? I made a list of all the swear words the Admiral uses, but Callista made me throw it away. I hope I'll make a good Empress. Overseer Martin says I will.
You know, Emily is quite special. She's learned from all of us, you especially. She trusts you absolutely, I believe. It will be good to hear people laugh in the streets again. Emily's happier, I think. She's such a quiet child sometimes. What will you do after this, I wonder?
Get married? I know we're supposed to relax now.
I wish I could. Just think, I'll have tutored an Empress.
I'll need some men to move these furnishings back to the manor.
You are an impressive man, Corvo.
Nothing to say to
I hope
that?
they give you the credit you deserve.
Hello, Corvo. The Pendletons owe you a debt.
Gotta get the beds in order.
So many dead. When things are better, I will suggest my lord fund a memorial to them. Everyone deserves to be remembered.
Man like you must be thinking of settling down.
At last, an empress on the throne again. Blood will tell.
The Hound Pits pub will be open for business again soon. And so will I.
What does that mean?
I'll actually miss this dank, dreary building when we return to the manor.
All this celebrating makes me feel 17 again.
Do you think Piero will ever want to marry? I mean, hypothetically. You talk to him more than I do. Maybe they'll let me sleep in tomorrow. The Lord Regent falls, and I'm still here. Something good is coming. I could feel it. Congratulations, Mr. Corvo. Emily is taller and more beautiful each day.
Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, as long as you don't go to your room, you can still walk around and do stuff. So it's a good time right now to go
Do you need me to put something together for you?
get some supplies and upgrades while you can. Yeah, let's get the explosive shot. Okay.
This is our chance, Corvo. Such a chance comes once in 1,000 years. We'll rebuild them. My devices, my designs, an entire city by Piero.
He is Piero Joplin. Even now, he visualizes the next invention.
Now that we no longer need trouble, it would be a waste to simply dispose of. Perhaps I could use him as an assistant.
Deals are made here. Sometimes under the influence of wine, and sometimes the influence is at the point of a knife.
Let's make sure there's no more dialogue. No? Alright. Let's move on then.
Samuel, you move like you've been drinking. Did the poison work its magic? Is he dead?
It better have worked. It cost me a month's profit.
Yes, sir. I believe Corvo has breathed his last. Just as you wanted.
You've done a fine job, then.
Remember, we need the body. If we come forward with the corpse of the man who murdered the Empress, we'll be greeted as heroes.
Yes, it'll grant us legitimacy. We'll be the men who rescued Emily and brought down the Lord Regent and his assassin. You'll see to the body, won't you, Samuel?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry something terrible, Corvo. But I only gave you half the poison. They were watching me, and it was all I could think to do. I think you're strong enough to survive that. I'll put you on a raft, and then I've got to ship out myself before they find out I've gone against their wishes. Snakes. They'll want to do the same to me as soon as I've outlived my uses. Hopefully you'll wake up and find your way out of this cursed city.
So I gotta wonder, when did he give me the poison? Betrayed by Havelock, Martin, and Pendleton, you are only saved at the last moment by Samuel the boatman, who left you adrift in a ruined section of Dunwall. Yeah, he stayed outside, so when did he actually give me the poison? I never quite understood that. In High Chaos, he's much less nice to you. He says, "Oh, I don't know why I keep sticking my neck out for you. Get the hell out of here." You know, that kind of thing.
This is the one who was with the Empress when she died. Poisoned. Tivian stuff.
Amateur work. He'll live.
That's up to Daud.
I know a great deal, bodyguard. I recognize those marks on your hand. A gift from your friend. The one who talks to you in the dark. Talks to you when you visit his shrines. I visited those shrines too. And I know what it felt like to shove a blade into your Empress. But I don't know you. Who you are, and who you fight for. You're a mystery, and I can't allow that.
So does that sword retract, or does it fold in half? Never quite clear on that.
Here you are at last, in a ruined and drowning world. Held captive by the man who killed your Empress, the assassin, Daud. Your friends poisoned you and dumped your body in the river. Did they do it to protect themselves, so no one would ever know what they'd done? Or was it because they were a single move away from controlling an empire, and they knew you'd never let them manipulate Emily? Maybe none of these. Perhaps that's just the nature of man.
Betrayed and poisoned by Havelock, Martin, and Pendleton, you've awakened in the ruins of the flooded district where the assassin Daud has you under guard. Recover your gear, confront Daud, and find a way out of the flooded district. Okay, so I mentioned before the first part where you have to use a power of some kind to advance in the game. This is the second. So you're in this kind of well. And there are a couple ways out, actually. The first, actually, let me save. So we still have our power, so we have possession, so you can possess a rat, and then go into this drain. Go down, and you emerge in the section below. So let's do the other way. You can take these bricks and break the boards. Well, that's why I did the rat first, because the bricks crush the rats. If you break the boards, and then you can either use agility to jump out, or you can blink out. But you have to use one of those things. Okay, so once you're out, you've got this other well here with the did Overseer. Letter to Overseer Franklin. Overseer Franklin, wasn't it? When we speak next, I hope you will tell me 2 things. First, what do the strictures tell you about being imprisoned in a cell you can easily escape, where your leg's not shattered? Secondly, how your kind knew the location of our base and what exactly you hope to accomplish there by marching a hopelessly outnumbered band of fools through chest-high water. Daud. Yeah, I can't do a Michael Madsen voice. I don't think anybody can but him, so I'm not gonna try. Sorry. Alright, you got this little assassination headquarters here with all these targets. You can't read most of the text. You can read kind of the names. So there's the club, Ivan the Club, Isaac something, older guy, and then Blue Hand Jane. And here's our wanted poster, and Slackjaw. Only says 15,000 coins. It's gone up since then. Slackjaw's only worth 2, so he's probably upset with that. Bulldog pen. Bounty Ledger. Kroonigan eliminated, 1,500 coins paid. Sallard, location unknown. Elizabeth abducted, delivered, 2,000 coins paid. Booth eliminated, payment refused. Employer eliminated. Unknown masked man revealed to be Corvo. Slackjaw, location unknown. Corvo in custody, to be delivered alive. Corvo's bounty note. Daud, finding Corvo in possession of that mask could have been an elaborate frame job, but now the newly minted Lord Regent Havelock is announcing to all the city that he has proof of Corvo to be the masked man. The bounty is 30,000 coins, but if Corvo truly is the masked felon and is responsible for all the things the wanted posters accuse him of, I expect the bounty to double. Because we have him alive, we should be able to barter for even more. Regarding Slackjaw, we watched him for a week, and when we were ready to make our move, he suddenly disappeared. Maybe he left the city. Rolfio. Nope, we'll find out where Slackjaw has gone after this mission. Report to Daud. This is the musical device that the Overseer had strapped to his chest. While it was functioning, we were unable to perform transversals or tetherings. I suggest we all get a good look at it. Music box. Okay, so to get out of here, there are a couple of ways we can go. Up and down. So let me save first. And show the down way. So you come down here to the water. And you possess a fish. Fish. Oh, I can't get it. It's under the stair there. Hold on. Can I do it from the water? Jeez. So much for a smooth playthrough. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I can do it from the water. Alright. And then you just swim out through these bars here. And you're outside. Jeez. That took longer than it should have. And here's the building we were in, and we're outside. Now let's reload and go up. And there are 2 assassins up here. I don't know if they're supposed to be guarding us, but they're not doing a very good job. And I don't remember if there's anything up here. A little bit. The Brigmore job. Ronaldo, do the job as you were told, and do not question my planning again. Yes, the women who meet in the ruins of the Brigmore Manor possess abilities like our own. And they use poisons administered by Dart, but just as you share my ability to blink across space through the transversal trick, you also inherit my resistance to some toxins. As I told you when you first joined us, It is another of my gifts that whoever serves me loyally shares in some of my power. This may or may not aid you against their poisons. The leader of the Brigmore witches must pay for her betrayal. If you succeed, your share will be enough to build a fine home in Serkonos in your old age, assuming you live. Daud. So this is obviously referencing the Brigmore witches from the DLC, the Brigmore witches. I'm setting that up. And so this street is called Argush Street, something like that. Or it was before it flooded. Or Agrush, something like that. Anyway, let's see if I can get onto that ledge. No, oh, just drop. As you know, getting out of water is my main my main weakness. Okay. And these are fish, hagfish infested waters. Okay, so that way is towards the river, which flooded when the levees broke. And there's some loot in this apartment here. More a fish statuette. And if you possess rat and go through this tunnel, it'll take you right to the outside of Daud's base. But we don't want to go there quite yet. And get the gear back. You don't have to. You can choose not to recover your gear, but it's much harder. So if you're looking for another challenge, you can just leave it and then go on using what you pick up along the way. But it is definitely much easier if you recover the gear. So there are a couple ways you can go. You can go down this street, or you can go up this chain and kind of cut across sideways. I'll show this first. We see this failed overseer attack towards Daud's base. And if you go through this way, you come out right outside the area of the Greaves refinery where your gear is. Should have loot all these overseers. Good for the assassins sprung their trap as we tried to cross a narrow bridge. At that choke point, they were able to pick us off one by one. We thought we could draw them inside where our greater numbers would make more of a difference, but it didn't matter. Now I'm the only one left alive, and I feel that slipping away from me minute by minute. Please, if a second group attempts to come through this way, be aware of that bridge. They are listening for the sound of the door opening. Keep an eye on the rooftops. Even a small number of them is more than a match. Yeah, they're a good source of grenades, so even if you're full, you might come back this way and pick up some more. And this area is right outside the oil company. But if you come this way, there are a few things you may miss. So I'm going to go back the other way. This room is full of river crusts down there, so be careful. And this turn in the road is also infested by river crusts, so it's always a good idea to try and take them out if you can before you sort of make your way around, even if you're high up there. So let's see if I can. Oh. And they go flying. Alright, and make sure to pick up those pearls. don't think I can get up there from here. No, I think I gotta go back to the bridge over here. Can I do this without Blink? Don't think so. Okay. So if you come up over on this side, there are a couple of apartments here that you can go into. And if you don't take out those river crusts, they'll spit acid up at you right even from here. So it's a good idea to take them out first. I think there are two paintings, the Commutative Rapids and the Weeper. That's one of them. Why it's in this apartment, who knows. And if you come over to this one, letter to Heather. Dear Heather, hasn't Harold gone on and on to you about this treasure he's got hidden away? I thought he talked my ear off. He claims that it proves that he's got imperial heritage, but if you ask me, it just means that our wonderful rulers are buying favors from anyone these days. It's a scandal, that's what it is. Anyway, you should go and see him. When he goes to show you the statue, he's going to ask you to guess his safe code. Goodness, he's such a bore. So give him a sly wink and tell him it's 428. I only wish I could be there to see the look on his face when you get it right. You know he fancies you, and he's got money. He may be small and dreary in conversation. No fun at all at dinner parties, if you ask me, but he's got money. He has an apartment down by the Chamber of Commerce. Dreadful little hole. Only door in is through the back courtyard, and it's smaller than my loft over by the waterfront. But anyone who can afford a place of any size in that part of town has to be doing well for himself. Amelia. Gold diggers. Okay, so those river crests will get you even from up here, so... Can I get all the way? No. Don't think so. Alright, so this street is called Ebenezer Causeway. It's not Ebenezer, it's Ebenezer. I don't know if that's a typo or what, because... These explosive bottles are pretty useful against, against weepers, but they're also useful against river crust as well. They're all over the place. I'm not sure if you can blink through here. I think I did. I was able to once, but I wasn't able to repeat it, so it might just be a glitch. Keep that chaos down. Another explosive bottle. Looks like that's all the Weepers, so at least in this section. Okay, can I make this jump? Back up here, get a running start. Yeah. Hey, alright. Charm Whirlwind 1. Don't remember what that is. Donovan's Journal. Everyone was looking for someone to blame for what happened. As the waters rose day by day, and one by one the business owners had to give up their shops to ankle-high muck, and river cress started growing as far back as Thresh Street. Truth is, it wasn't some plot to wipe the ever-prosperous Rudshore off Dunwall's maps. It was laziness and stupidity. The barriers keeping the rising waters out hadn't been maintained in at least a decade, and once one leak started, the whole thing gave out. The city was so tied up fighting the plague, no one lifted a finger to salvage the place. It's been a year now, and living in a place the region's forgotten about has its perks. So the flooding of the flooded district, or the Rudshore financial district, happened kind of after the plague got started. It was just they didn't have the manpower or the will to keep it maintained. So. I think that's it for this section. So, alright, so that's kind of the long way around, but just a good bit of loot going around Ebenezer Causeway, whatever that is. It's weird because the founder of the Greaves refinery is named Ebenezer Greaves, so I wonder if that street is supposed to be named after him. It was just a typo or something. I don't know. I think this little outer section is just Weepers. I don't think there's anything of too much use here. And here's the refinery. Our gear is somewhere down there. Again, this area is kind of infested with river crusts. Fortunately, we are supplied with an unlimited amount of whale oil that we can use to blow them up. It's so satisfying to see him fly away like that. It's a good bit of coin for one pearl, especially considering how prolific these things are. And if you run out of tanks, there's a dispenser. As many as you could possibly need. Let's go ahead and plug this in first. Refinery safety notice. Remember to keep the stair in the up position at all times unless there's a shift change or an emergency. Failure to do so may result in damage to equipment and or loss of life. In the event of an actual emergency, main power will be shut off. Use the backup receptacle to your right to restore power to this control panel. But I'm actually not going to do that yet, because when you do that, it releases a swarm of rats, so you want to be sure that you've done everything down on the ground that you want to do. These are really annoying me. Letter to Stu. Hey Stu, here's the deal. The old Greaves refinery still has vats filled with processed whale oil that no one's touched. We just need to collect a bunch of empty tanks and use the pumps they have at the front station to fill them back up. With the water level so high, we'd be able to just pull a boat in and out. No problem. Just don't go alone. There's river crests everywhere. Those critters are rough. Mitch. So I'm guessing this is Stu, and he did not take the advice and he did go alone. So that's what happens. This door's locked. Not that it makes much difference to us. Okay, so here's where the refinery opens up onto the river. This is kind of the first cutscene of the mission when we're being pulled in. You can't get past. There's an invisible wall there that pushes you back, and lots of hagfish to discourage you as well. So that's about as far as you can get. But canonically, we should be right across the river from where, in the very first mission, we came out of the sewers and found Samuel for the first time. So it's a bit as far downriver as you get before you actually go to the lighthouse. Okay, let's do this thing. And you can actually get up there without lowering these stairs. If you have, again, agility and blink 2, you can kind of climb up there without doing the stairs. It's a little tough, but you can do it. And there go the rats. As soon as you jump on this, oh! But if you look down, there's a bone charm. There we go, kill that.
Why would you come back here?
Hard to say, but we should watch the streets. We'll see him from the rooftops.
All right. If
No, you won't.
we can cut him off at the market.
He can't get through the rail station without the key.
This one is resourceful. He'll find a way.
So So if you look up here, you can see sections of the city that are kind of high above us, not flooded, and then so you can see how low this place is. And there's the Commerce, it's Chamber of Commerce, and that statue. Whoop. It's a statue of Jessamine. Alright, before we lower that, let's come over here and get some of this stuff. On hunting whales, except from a forward gaffer's journal by Old Grum. These new ships made by that Sokolov fella make life easier than it was in my youth, I'll tell you what. It was we were at the mercy of the winds. Nowadays the engines get up at first whale sign and there ain't time now to roust the boys from their bunks before you're on the herd. We call out the biggest bastard we can lay eyes on, and then the pilots drag us out from the circling brutes. Them things groan and bellow out across the water like they're calling to each other. Men below say you can feel it in the hull. But when the harpoons go in, a beast cannot make for deep water no more. Once it weaks from lost blood, we launch the hook boat and put chains into the tail. Then the winches drag the bastard backward up the chute and into the rigging overhead. That's what I imagine Old Grum to sound like, alright? The Greaves Whale House, excerpt from a book on the well-established companies in Dunwall. In the early days, when the ships brought in the great dead whales, men would slaughter them and reduce their blubber to oil in massive vats on the banks of the Wrenhaven. Small crews maintained their own vats, with workers specializing as fire tenders, slicers, gutmen, haulers, or strainers. Inevitably, once the demand went up, the businessmen moved in, wooing the best crews with promises of better pay and safer conditions. The warehouses went up at the edges of the Rudshore financial district almost overnight. None was more organized, or some would say more ruthless, than the Greaves Whale House, opened by Ebenezer Greaves himself. The Greaves Whale House grew rapidly, absorbing rivals until it dominated the trade. At its peak, the operation employed over 300 workers, not including the children who filled minor and often tragic roles. Those associated with the refinery were recognizable by their head-to-toe industrial leather uniforms and the masks they wore to protect against fumes. So this is the source of the costumes that the Daud's whaler gang wears. They're the actual clothing of the actual whalers. Harpooner songs, already read that. And a little bit of blue up here. Whaling territories map. And I don't know what this point of this is. I've tried to get back here. I can't do it. And I've tried to get through those bars. I can't do that either, so okay, now to open this gate, refinery foreman's note. Tell your shift captain to assign a maintenance berk for every shift. The conduits keep shorting out up here. At least authorize us to put a whale oil canister in the back of receptacle next to the bridge to keep the power flow steady. We're Greaves Company, for crying out loud. Do you think we'd be able to afford an extra one of our own oil tanks? Or if you need me to make it simple for you, with no power, the bridge stays up. If the bridge stays up, we can't access the refinery pit. No pit access, we don't do our jobs. Plain and simple. And apparently, that note was successful because we have several canisters here we can choose from. Yep, already read that. And read that. Alright, so we come down to ground level. In low chaos, there's only one Weeper down here. And depending on what you've done, it may be a familiar face. Alright. Assuming I can find him. Oh, there he is. Oh, figures. Oh no, I can't choke him out when he's on the ground. Oh, I am clumsy. Okay, there we go. Jeez. And you've probably guessed by now, because you've probably played this many times, that this is, in fact, Campbell. Actually, let me pick him up and make sure you can see him. Yes, Thaddeus Campbell, still having his Heretic's brand there. So he's become a Weeper, and he's been exiled to the Flooded District. Got our gear back, all our toys, very nice. And there's some loot. Of course, at this point, I'm not sure what I need money for. I mean, maybe if one or two more upgrades and supplies, might as well get it. Okay, and we find this note: Campbell's curse. Curse that fool Hiram Burroughs. Lord Regent, my lily-white bottom, we almost had it all. Now I will wear the Heretic's brand for the short remainder of my days. The Heretic's brand, of all things. I should have banned that ritual, but in truth I plan to use it against a few undesirables should the need arise. Perhaps even Hiram. Now it's all lost. When I spy my own reflection in a puddle of filthy water, I see failure burned into my face. I am cast out. And now the plague is upon me. Already the fever grows, and my thoughts are as slippery as hagfish. It won't be long before I'm drooling and moaning and bleeding from the eyes. Last week I was sipping fine Tyvian wines and enjoying the comforts rightfully afforded to my position within the abbey. Today I sleep in filth. I am lost in this bleak and destroyed district. If my mind is going to rot away, then let these be my last words, the final coherent thoughts of Thaddeus Campbell, a great man, voracious lover of life in all its flavors and odors, and once high overseer in the great capital city of Dunwall itself. From the blackness of the void I fling curses upon the head of Corvo Atano. It was he who cost me everything I held dear. May flies nest in your eyes, Corvo, and may all your desires come to ruin as you have ruined mine. Thaddeus Campbell. I wonder if that flies nesting in your eyes is kind of a foreshadowing of the second game. Probably not, but it's fun to pretend. I always have trouble with this chain. Not this chain, but the next chain. So you gotta kind of jump and grab onto it. Oh, come on! Oh, it's embarrassing. Yeah, I got it. Alright. Okay, let's get out of here. And if you want to take the fast way down, you can climb this short length of chain, and then if you can fling far enough, right over there. Yep, lots of river crust down there. So it's better not to go through that door, because when you open the door using that crank, as the note said, they'll hear you. So it's best just to blink up and go over top it, and then go this way. Sometimes you can blink behind this guy and choke him out. Oh, I wasn't crouching. Sorry. Mostly non-lethal. Oh, wrong one. There we go. You gotta be careful, because if they, if you knock them out and then they roll to their death, that still counts as a kill. You gotta get one of these guys, because they have the key to the next section here. These guys put out all this loot and all this coin and food kind of as bait, I guess, to try and lure me in. As if I would ever go through the ground level if I could help it. But I tried to possess a rat and go through these bars just to see what's over there, but you can't get through. It's like this rubble here is like a barrier, so I guess the developers thought you would try to do that, but yeah, can't get through there. Okay, I think this is a good place to end this video. So the next section is Daud's base, Central Redshore, so we'll stop it here and pick up the next one from there. Do a hard save here. Okay guys, thank you so much once again for watching, and hope you tune in for the next one, and getting close to the end, so if you've made it this far, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Alright, thanks a lot.